Hello everyone, Silverstruck here. Welcome to the Silverstruck channel and another Guardhouse box video. As you can see, I have all the Guardhouse boxes I've completed and those that I'm working on right in front of us. It's getting harder and harder to get all this on camera. I've got 100 bars here, 100 bars here, so 200, plus these two boxes I'm working on. So once those two are complete, we'll be at 275 bars. And of course, I'm pretty excited to try to push for 300. Now, one of the reasons why I really like stacking, collecting in this manner is you can walk into your local coin shop and pick up just one solitary ounce of silver or a handful of silver if you like, whatever fits your budget. So it keeps you in the game without breaking the bank, and you get to look for really cool bars. So I really enjoy this part of the hobby myself, and I know many of you do as well out there. I do have a bunch of bars that are unsorted off camera here. Let me bring them up. So a couple bags now full of 1 ounce bars. Some of these Guardhouse box worthy and some not so much. So in this episode, I'm going to share 6 bars that will be going into these Guardhouse boxes. Unfortunately, most of them duplicates. All of them USSC bars, which is an extremely popular refiner here on YouTube. So let's get right into it. And I'll share with you the bars we're going to be adding. All right, my friends, here we are with the bars out on display, capsules ready to go, and of course the 2 Guardhouse boxes I'll be working with right here. This first box is a 25 count box that will contain just United States Silver Corporation bars, and this 50 count box is the one I've been working with mostly, and it's a mix of different refiners. As the collection grows, bars will find their way in and out of certain boxes. But that's just the nature of collecting. You'll end up reorganizing as you go along. So let's talk about the first bars going in. These right here are Israel bars, 25th anniversary. And I was able to pick up 2. They're fairly common, not too rare. Reverses on the United States Silver Corporation is always the same, though there are a few different variations on certain bars. Nothing huge. Star size would be one of them, but fun to look for. So let's go ahead and get these bars in their capsules. It's automatically a duplicate pickup. Sometimes I'll pick up duplicate or triplicate for trading purposes. So we'll put this bar in here. I'm going to do the same thing for the second Israel bar. I've had these put aside for a while. Yeah, very gratifying. And just hadn't gotten around to placing them in those Guardhouse boxes. So I only have a spot for one more bar. So let's go ahead for another bar that I think I have now in triplicate. There are a couple variations of this bar here. No mintages to report. This is San Diego Zoo, 1916 and 1973. So another pretty common bar. You see a bar like this, basically, whoops, we have a capsule malfunction. You'll see a bar like this quite often if you're looking for the USSC bars. Great bar, though. None of these are dipped or anything. You can see the toning. I leave them as is, so this will recomplete the 25 count Guardhouse box here. So that one's all done. We have some United States Silver Corporation bars that will find their way into the next Guardhouse box. I was able to find all these bars in plastic flips. Now when I do find them, I do cut them out of the flip. Basically these are kind of old. You can see a little bit of yellowing, but it protected the bar. So the flip did their job, and I love stacking in this method because the bar is preserved, and when you're using the Guardhouse boxes, so is in the capsule. Usually it's not all scraped up or damaged if you house the bars in these Guardhouse boxes. Now, let's talk about another common production bar, if you will. This one, like I was saying, was in a flip, so it's in very good condition. And I already have this. This is another duplicate added in. And this is a World Trade and Commerce bar. There we go. Sometimes I'll show the reverses even though they're all the same, because sometimes you have bars that have reported mintages and serial numbers. So that's a plain reverse, if you will. And that is not the right one. This one is the correct top. Beautiful. So we're going to add that in to this box right here. Now next we have bars that have reported mintages, and that's always nice. So let me pick on the only bar that's new to me here, and that would be this bar right here. This is Unite for Peace 1973. And obviously we have a portrait variety versus a landscape variety. So we flip this one over here. You can see the reverse reflects as such. It's still a portrait variety reverse. And you can see here that it was in the flip. Sometimes the toning really is obvious when a bar has been in the flip, and of course you can dip that and remove it if you like, but I typically keep the bars as is. So the mintage for this bar is 4700. So not a low mintage, but nice to know how many of these were produced. Not sure how many have survived. So there we go, another bar for the Guardhouse box. And that brings us to the last bar, also with a reported mintage. I already have one of these, but this one is in fantastic shape, and I'll always pick something like this up. So the Bobcat, North America's Wildcat. Of course, I'm New Hampshire, and our university here is the New Hampshire Wildcats. So we flip this one over. Here we can see that serial number I was talking about. And this is towards the end of the run because the mintage of this particular bar is 2500. So we have a late serial number here. This one's number 2427. So towards the end of the mintages to where they would eventually cancel the dies. So in the Bobcat goes. Eventually, I'll group these together. I'm hoping to get to 50 of the United States Silver Corporation bars so I can switch the Guardhouse box out to a 50 count for this particular refiner. Super excited that I'm still finding some bars out there. So there you have it, my friends. More progress on the Guardhouse boxes. 15 bars stacked, 10 more to fill the row. That will be a lot of fun to take you on that journey and put another 10 bars in the old Guardhouse box. Don't forget to leave me a comment in the comment section. And as always, thank you so much for watching.